What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with TechBud Solutions. Thank you guys again for joining us for another Sunday Stock Talk. If you guys don't know what a Sunday Stock Talk is and want to get a little bit of a better understanding for a very quick breakdown, pretty much a Sunday Stock Talk is I have a group, it's TechBud Solutions. We have a little bit over 50,000 members worldwide. We're a small little networking group. We share best practices, share mistakes. We don't tell people or our members what to trade. We simply come together as a group and we simply share our experience when it comes down to investing in the stock market, as well as the series of markets that we invest in, such as like real estate, the buying and resale of different products, online sales, and it's kind of just like a very fun, I think, and simple platform that's free, and it allows people to kind of get exposed to all these different markets, what has led to people's success, and stuff like that. So the Sunday Stock Talk itself is kind of where we come together as a group. So this is on a weekly basis. The market opens Monday through Friday for the stock market within the United States. So we come together, we talk about the stocks that we see value in. Again, we just share ideas. This is not anything to tell you that you should be trading. I just share my whole thought process when breaking down stocks in effort to hope that, it can actually guide you in the right direction. So we have quite a bit of people that usually join us. And with that being said, I do want to thank you guys again for all your time, and let's kind of get right to it. So if you guys do want to be a part of TechBud Solutions, it's going to be, I think, the 5th or 6th link in the description. It's going to say free Facebook group. Before we get started, I do want to thank you guys again for taking time out of your Sunday to join us. I know there's like football going on. I'm not too sure if it's still going on. I know there was like a World Series like yesterday or something like that. But overall, we're all, definitely in busy schedules. So I do want to thank you guys for taking time out of your day to join us. The first link in the description, today is the last day, and this is why I'm bringing it up. So it is the mentorship / lesson library that I offer. For those that already know about the mentorship for this month has sold out. So if you would still like to be part of the mentorship and still want access to the lesson library, today's the last day to actually get the $50 off. So you guys can get it for $249 if you guys see value in it. If you guys don't, we'll still continue to offer the lesson library and the mentorships with the following months to follow. But the mentorship is pretty much what goes in monthly sessions. So right now we took a group of people from October 8th to November 8th, that's one full month. And then from that point forward, we take another set of, from now on, the sessions will only be of 100 people. And then it will continue in those monthly sessions. So if you want to buy the course right now and then want to sign up for the mentorship later, that's definitely an option. But today would be the last day that you can get it off for the $50 off, and that's why from our launch date and stuff like that. So don't forget to use the coupon code, and that is the first link in the description. But let's go ahead and get right to it. So I'm going to start sharing my screen as you guys normally see. I'm going to be breaking down stocks. I set up my Thinkorswim platform a little bit different, so I hope you guys can find it a little bit easier to actually navigate and manage through. I do have a lot of helpful videos on my YouTube channel, so I hope that they can actually guide you in the right direction. And let's get right to it. So this is the Facebook group. So I simply asked you guys, what is the top picks that you guys are looking for this week? This was about 4 hours ago. And as you guys can see, there's no question that XXII is going to be one of the top stocks that we're looking at. And let's get right to it. Let's do it and let's go straight to it. So I want to say what's up to a couple people, so I hope that you guys don't mind. Guys, I have the worst news for you guys. So right now we are saying that this guy's saying no hat. I lost my hat. So if you guys have seen any of my previous videos, there's been hats that I always wear. And with that being said, I have lost the hat. So a little bit of a bummer. But let's go ahead and say what's up to a couple of you guys. Let's go. Let's see. What's up? How are you guys doing? Oh man, we got a couple of you guys messaging. Thank you guys again. What's going on, Robert? Nice to see you here. All right, so we got a couple people. Ricky, what's good, homies? Where's Ferris Bueller? So we need a gap scanner. Pickle Rick, what's up, Arnold? What's going on, bud? Change is good. I agree. What's going on with all you guys talking about that guy? I'm buying your hat too. All right, let's get right to it. So let's go ahead and get right to it. When it comes down to actually calling out different tickers, we always call it out in a certain format. And if you guys want access to that format, you guys can simply go to the rules within the TechBud Solutions Discord chat, and you will see that it's option 7. You guys can copy and paste it, and if you want it to be recognized by one of the admins, then simply post it in this format so the overall group has a better understanding of what it is that you are talking about. But there's no question that one of the top stocks that you guys called out is XXII. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to go to the charts, just to the regular charts. Let's go ahead and go to XXII. All right, so this is pretty much my setup for Thinkorswim. We're looking at it at the 180-day analysis, if I'm not mistaken. I think the reason that so many people are starting to call out XXII, it's because there's no question that XXII, since it's bounced that it's had at about 80 cents and its break at $1, it's continuously been seeing signs of an upward trend, and this is kind of like a ascending upward trend. So it sees an upward trend, pulls back, sees an upward trend, pulls back, sees an upward trend. This time it pulled back a little bit more. But as you guys can see, we can see that it's starting to really consolidate right here around $2.60, and it's getting a lot closer to the RSI. So with that simple understanding, as you guys can see right here, I actually have my alert set. I have my alerts, so when I get the actual tickers on this 180-day chart, that they break above the EMA. I apologize. This blue line is the EMA. So once we get the tickers, which are the little candlesticks right here, to actually break above the EMA line, that will give me a better understanding that, based on its history, when it breaks above the EMA, we have these candlesticks riding up, and it sees signs of an upward trend. When they cross below this EMA line, they see downward trends. When they cross above, again, it has a really strong push. So with that simple understanding, what am I going to do? I'm going to set my alert when I know when it is most likely at around 280, 285, whatever my alert is right there. It will alert me that it's starting to see signs of an upward trend, and it has a really strong push, and it lasts for a couple days. With that being said, once we can see that it starts to consolidate, the potential is huge. It's 20 to 40% potential, regardless if you guys see value in it or not. I think XXII is definitely one of the top stocks that I'm going to be watching for this upcoming week, because we just really need that break. And actually, I'm going to set my alert actually a little bit closer, and I want to make sure that I'm alerted when it breaks above 280. I just want to make sure that I'm alerted when it breaks above 280, because if we have a runner, then I think that could be a good sign that it's seen signs of an upward trend. Just so I'm updated, I'm going to set my alert when it goes below $2.58. So with that being said, when it goes below 258, it doesn't mean that I'm actually going to trade it, but it just means that it's breaking that trend and breaking that support and still seeing signs of an uptrend. It's going to start seeing signs of a downtrend. If we can see, the RSI indicator is indicating that it's closer to the oversold side, so that's pretty good. And also the MACD indicator is starting to indicate the EMA the MACD is now indicating that it has a buy signal. Does that mean that we always should be buying when there's a MACD signal stating that it's a buy? 100% no, right? But when it comes down to looking at XXI big picture, we can see that it's seen signs of consistent growth. And this is something, especially for the people that are part of the mentorship program, that I try to focus on most. We try to kind of stay away from all these low cap kind of really downward trending penny stocks. And the reason why is because a lot of the people that are kind of just starting out, and even the people that we have that are experienced, sometimes I feel that are just chasing these lower cap, bad quality stocks. And unfortunately, there's some forms of foundation that they have not built for themselves, and they don't cut losses as quick. So I feel like if we focus on better quality stocks and we focus on indicators, there's 3 steps that when people are part of the just reach out to me and I try to guide them in the right direction. There's 3 steps that I asked them. I was like, okay, you called out this stock, XXII. That's great. What is it that you see in it? Okay, well, look, it's consolidating. It's been seeing signs of consistent upward trend, and it looks like it's about to, start picking up. I 100% agree. Now, what is it that you're going to be waiting for to actually validate your entry? So what indication are you going to wait for it to, verify that, okay, it's starting to trend back up. Let me go ahead and buy in. For me, it's going to be the break when it breaks above 280 and when it breaks above the EMA. It's going to give me a better understanding that on this 180-day chart that it's starting to trend back up. It gives me a better understanding that my potential for profit, that I'm investing in something that's going to be trending up based on its previous 2 spikes or 3 spikes. It has broken above the EMA, or actually 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to wait for the break above the EMA. So I identified a margin of profit. We set up a plan on where we're buying, where we're selling, and where we're going to cut our losses. And then I'm going to wait for that validation or indication that it's actually trending back up. Therefore, we have built the confidence and we understand the risk involved when actually taking a position. If you don't see value in it, then you simply should not be trading it. So regardless of, one of the biggest, I think, kind of suggestions that we have within our group is that you should not be trading any stocks that you don't see value. And you should not be trading based on my opinion or anyone else's signals. That's one of the biggest things. People ask, why don't I, if you guys have been seeing this past week, because of my mentorship program, I've been structuring the stocks that are in my watch list that I see value in, and I'm following up with them on a daily basis. Why is it that I'm doing that? Well, it's because I have my mentorship and they like me following up with the stocks that I'm swing trading or day trading and the ones that I see value in. The reason that I don't do that for everyone else is because they always mimic my trades. And that's not what I'm here to do. If you don't understand how to trade and you can't identify a good buy point or sell point, then you simply, I don't think, should be trading or investing any real money. There's simulation trading and paper trading, and I've talked about that multiple times. And it just comes down to the understanding that when you don't understand when a good buy or when a good sell is, then you need to build that foundation a little bit better before you start, investing in the stock market, because you're going to most likely see more red days than green days. You might get lucky, but realistically, the stock market is not where you get lucky for a long period of time. So let's kind of get right to it and kind of go from there. So what's going on? All right, I like that. All right, so I have a couple people asking me, is XXII a swing trade? I think when it offers potential, I'm going to go back to when it started seeing signs of an uptrend. Do you see when it was trending down and it was below EMA, and it started to consolidate, and then it started breaking above EMA, and it started breaking resistance levels, like it broke above 240 and stuff like that, broke above 260, continued to see signs of an upward trend. 180-day analysis, how many days did it take for it to actually see its full extension, for it to cross above, the RSI, indicating that it's oversold, MACD indicating that it's peaking out? It took a series of days. Therefore, if you want to ride it and you think that it has a lot of potential to offer, as I personally do, it does not mean that you have to. You will most likely, if you, for myself, I will most likely have to ride it for a series of days. Is this going to be worth it for me? I think so. I think with the potential for profit that it offers based on its previous pump, it was about 41%. That's huge. That could be something that you might have as a, a 3 to 4 month goal. 40% is a huge margin of profit to look out for. This is definitely a lower cap stock, so that's something to take in consideration. Is this something that I'm going to invest $10,000 to $15,000 into? Most likely not, because it's such a low cap stock that it can have really solid sell-offs, and they're very quick, right? It had that sell-off almost all overnight, and it came all the way back down. That's 23%. If I go in with $10,000 to $15,000 and I lose 23%, I'm going to be a little upset in the morning, and you should definitely not be investing money that you don't feel comfortable, risky, right? So therefore, I'm probably going to go anywhere from $3,000 to $4,000 as my average day trade, but I'm going to try to swing this trade. So again, to answer your question, yes, I'm most likely going to swing trade it. Where do I think would be a good sell-off point? I think it will have to follow up with it. It's been seeing solid signs. It's been making new highs, every time that it has a solid peak. So I think it has the potential to hit $4. I think that's a pretty solid resistance to be able to call out. So let's say I do wait for the break when it breaks above 280. With that understanding, when it breaks above 280 to $4, it offers about, the same potential that it offered when it previously spiked up, about 40%. How much did it offer the other time before? This one was more, oh, that's weird, it changes. It's about 43%. It's at 33%. So yeah, I think this one definitely does offer a good amount of potential. Alrighty, let me go ahead and write this on my notes. And I have a new watch list set up. So what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to go ahead and go here. And this is just because I've been a little bit more active with these stocks, and I'm going to have a separate watch list. This is my normal watch list, as you guys see right there, which is like my big bucket. But the ones that I want to most likely focus on, as you guys can tell, it's very overwhelming sometimes, right? When there's so many different stocks being called out, especially in the group. Don't overwhelm yourself. Add a series of options, and you might just want to have, one or two. Limit the amount of stocks that you, focus on, to making sure that the one or two stocks that you see value in are the top quality stocks. So I think XXII offers great potential. So with that being said, I just added it to my watch list. Let's move on to the next one. I'm going to do these a little bit quicker. SRAX. SRAX. Alrighty, well, I see why you guys call this one out. Wow. The thing with this is I think that it's still a little bit overpriced. I wouldn't say that this is a solid. Yeah, it's kind of peaking out already when it comes down to. So one of two things I think can happen on this one. It looks like it's already peaking out. It's kind of hitting the same resistance that it did during pre-market hours or after market hours, whatever the time was. When it previously peaked out, it saw a downward trend, consolidated at 350, and then broke above EMA and started peaking back up. That's great. We're back at 450, and it's starting to peak out again. The RSI is getting pretty close. So I think if it runs, great. This is a great day trade. When it comes down to swing trades, does this look something that you want to swing trade? Yes, that was all good, and you guys have to understand, when it really saw this growth, this was all within one day. So if you can catch the wave before it's reached its peak, and it's very easy when you can use the MACD indicator, when you can see when it's oversold. If you see that it's overbought and it's already kind of hitting like highs of day, and you're thinking about getting in, just also think about how much money you can lose or the percentage that you can lose on your account when it comes down to how much it can actually drop. So getting in right now at around like $4.50, the margin or the percentage that it has to lose is about 25%. That's huge. It does offer a lot of potential for profit. So I think it's a very simple understanding of what it is that we can wait for. I think this is going to most likely try to be a technical breakout. I think that this one might offer a good day trade if the volume is there to support it, if the demand is there and all the hype. But would I recommend it for new traders? I know this is something that you guys might be turned off by, but no, I don't think new traders can really enter and exit as quick as experienced traders. And we have a lot of experienced traders within our group, and they do very well with these stocks. But people that are trading with that are relatively new to the market, it's harder for them to execute their orders, to enter and exit, or to set their stop loss. With that being said, these stocks move so quickly. Is that the best recommendation that I can have for a new trader? Most likely not. This wouldn't be my top pick for new traders. For those that are experienced and actually see value in this one, I would say once it starts to break, I would say 460. I think when it breaks above 460, it looks like, if we could see right here, all intraday, it looks like I'll do 465. That's where I'll set my alert. And I'm going to remove this stock. And I'm also going to set my alert right here when it starts to pull back. I want to see if it bounces again at 350, because if we can catch the break when it breaks above EMA on the pullback, then that can be pretty huge. I'll add it to my watch list for my active watch, but I don't think I'm actually going to be trading it too much unless it really starts to pump. And we'll just have to follow up with this one on Monday. There we go. So a good call out. AMC, Taco. We've been talking about AMC for, 2 weeks. I think there's no question that we were talking about it when it was like, starting to see signs of a downtrend. And that's great. As we can see right now, it's really starting to consolidate. And it's, at that price point, right around that $14 price point, that, it has a lot of margin to offer, to that $16 price point. That's about, 14%. That's huge. This is AMC, multi-million-dollar company. I can't say that it's in the billions because this is a movie theater company. If you guys aren't familiar with it, big, especially if you're within the United States, just know that it does have an earnings call 11/16/2017 at 4 p.m. So that looks like it's going to be after the market closes. Is that going to be your best swing trade? I don't think so. Look at the last earnings call that it had. It fell below its actual target. There's no question. Just think about it. Is AMC a place where you actually have to physically go watch movies? Got to probably be producing the revenue that it was, 10 years ago before Netflix and YouTube and all these different, online platforms that allow people to watch and stream movies from their home. There's no question about it that I don't go to the movie theaters, like I did 10 years ago, because there's no reason to. It's the convenience, right? Therefore, most likely other people are the same way. You can actually check into the fundamentals and check their earnings and see if, they're expected to actually report really good earnings. And if they are, then it can shoot it up to $20. But realistically, is it going to be the smartest thing to actually hold this over, for a series of multiple days, especially the day that it's going to be, most likely selling off? I think a really good indication that it has to follow is before the actual earnings report, it was already starting to see sell-offs. So as we can see, it's already starting to sell off. So yes, it is above EMA, but I think one of the risks that you do take into consideration when it comes down to trading AMC is because it's so close to its earnings report. I don't think a lot of people are going to be holding this stock. And again, what drives a price up is when the amount of buyers exceed the amount of sellers. It's that demand. And as we get closer, there's going to be more people selling it off because they're not going to want to hold it. Just take that into consideration. Let's see what you guys. Alrighty. Did you get him? There we go. Okay, so people are still asking me questions about the mentorship. Let's just go ahead and get through these tickers, and then we'll talk about it. Thank you. So I'll definitely talk about it before we end, but I just want to make sure that the people, the people that are joining us, that we answer their questions first, and then we'll talk about it after. Great call out. This is probably, out of all the tickers that we've looked at so far, and that was one of the top stocks that were talked about. So Taco, this is Del Taco, again, multi-million, if not billion-dollar company. It had an earnings report, huge sell-off. What is it? What is it, especially part of this mentorship program? So what is it that I usually focus on? If you guys haven't noticed, I've been actually trying to make a transition over from like day trading every single day and actually now going into swing trading as my schedule is getting a little bit more busy. The reason why is I believe with the growth that I've been seeing when it comes down to a weekly basis, I will only have to take 1 or 2 positions a week, especially if I focus on stocks that show value like this and start to offer huge margins of profit and start to cover all that. And I only have to take 1 or 2 swing trades with reputable companies that, because of bad news, have huge sell-offs and are most likely going to start picking back up again. With those huge sell-offs, they offer these huge margins of profit. So if I invest $10,000 to $15,000 and I take 1 or 2 positions and I capture around 10%, per position of $10,000, then I can hit my weekly target of like $1,000 to $2,000 a week. And that's the transition that I'm trying to focus on. Less on day trades and more on high quality stocks that offer realistic margins. And if you guys don't like my style, then you guys definitely don't have to. I just wanted to make it obvious that there's been a couple people asking me, why is it that I've been focusing on swing trades? That's why. I'm trying to minimize the amount of trades that I take, increase the actual, position size, and making sure that my return, although my percentage return might stay the same, my overall net return when it comes to dollar value will actually increase. So very quickly, I think this is huge. I think there's no question that there was a previous support here right around $12. If you guys can see, it's bounced there, bounced there, bounced there. Last earnings report that it had, it sold off, had the same support there. It had a really nice pump, and it's already starting to pick back up. So let me get a little bit closer to it. Yeah, and man, how did we not catch this the day of? So these are the huge dip buys that I always try to focus on. So if we see, there's no question that this thing was way oversold, hit lows of 9 RSI. As we could see, that it had a huge sell-off after market hours, which offers us as short-term swing traders or even day traders huge opportunity to take advantage of when it comes down to the days that follow if it starts to indicate an uptrend. And this is like a perfect example. All intraday, Taco Bell, not Taco Bell, Del Taco, I'm sorry if I offended some of you, but it grew about 8% from bottom to top, $12 to about $13. It grew $1. That's about 8% for this $12 stock. That's huge. For these multi-million-dollar companies or billion-dollar companies to offer that potential. I think it still has a lot more potential to offer. It looks like during, as we can see when it comes down to the volume, a lot of the activity happens right as the market opens, obviously because of the huge sell-off, but also as the market started to close, it really started to push up and the volume followed as well. So I think the volume and the demand based on how it previously was trading is so much higher right now That's huge. We got volume. We got a margin of profit. We have to wait for that indication for that upward trend. So I'm going to add this one to my watch list 100%. So one of the things that I'm going to be waiting for, I think it's pretty simple. I want to continue seeing signs of an uptrend. So right now during aftermarket hours, we're sitting right around 12.73. I think there's no question that it could break $13. What am I going to do? I want to make sure that it starts breaking resistance levels. It had a previous resistance at $13. I want to make sure that it breaks above it. And when it does, I would not mind taking a position there. Why is that? Well, I know if it breaks that position, it has all this margin to recover. Let's say it hits highs of 1450. That's about 10% potential. How long will it take for this to, recover? I'd say about a week. And if that takes about a week, with a $10,000 account, if I cover, about $10,000, then, $1,000 profit would not be bad for one trade that I took a position on for the entire week. Again, it's quality over quantity. And I definitely see the value in this when it's a reputable company and it's showing signs of an uptrend. We want to make sure that it breaks this resistance. People might be asking, well, why won't I take a position now? Well, if this resistance at $13 is so strong that it does not break, it only offers 2% potential. With the potential for loss, that's much greater. Therefore, I want to make sure that I could break this resistance, and that's right around $13. And that's where my alert is set. I'll also set my alert to see if it drops below 12. There's no question that, it could continue to drop, but I don't really care if it drops because I'm not taking a position yet. I'm taking a position when it starts to indicate signs of an uptrend. So I think that's a great call out. Thank you for that. You guys, you're offended by my Taco Bell comment. So I think that's a great call out. Good job. And then one of the last ones that was suggested by the team was Shop. This is Shopify. Guys, look at the video. If you guys have time, look at the video. And this is another perfect example. Look at the video that I filmed this the first of this month. It was my top maybe 5 or 10 stocks for October. And Shopify was one of them. What did I say? And I did not find this stock just because of my scanners. I found this stock because one of the members within my group. But again, reputable company, huge margins of loss, right? Because of bad news or something. As we start to see them recover, we wait for that indication. Again, for me, it's the break above EMA, just like it did right here around 96. You guys heard me talk about this stock nonstop day after day. And then I stopped because I felt like people were being bugged by my call out. And that's why I don't like forcing anything on anyone. So with that being said, I called it out at 95 when it broke above EMA, when it really started to show signs of an uptrend. Now it's at 102. It's up 6.38%. This is for a multi-billion-dollar company. And being able to invest, and the potential for profit that it offers, the much more potential for profit that it offers, 24%. Investing $20,000, $30,000 if you have that disposable to actually invest in a good quality company, and being able to see that 25% return within, a month or, 2 months, however long it actually takes for it to recover, it's covered that within the past month or 2 months. So how long will it take this to recover? About 1 to 2 months, as long as it continues to trend above the EMA. If it breaks below the EMA, then you can lock in profits with that simple understanding. But it's on these dip buys that I see a lot of potential for profit. Just beware, there is an earnings report coming in, and that's going to be 10/31/2017. So I think another great call out. Do I have this in my watch list? Well, I think it's really close already I have it in my main watch list, and I know that. I think it's a little bit too close for its earnings report and how it's been moving. I think it's pretty much set. I think I wouldn't want to swing trade it anymore as it's getting a little bit closer to its earnings report. And that's kind of like AMC, right? AMC is getting a little bit closer to its earnings report. So, all right. So we have a couple tick. Oh, that's really cool. No, I don't smoke. Alrighty. Be creative. Thank you. Keep it green. I agree. What's going on, bud? All right, let's go ahead and let's just cover the ones that I have in my watch list, and I'll cover those pretty quickly. JNUG, it's one that we've previously talked about. I think that it's at a pretty decent low point. Overall support that it has to offer, overall support within the past, I think it's 10 days. Let me see if it shows that trend. No, 30 days. Yeah, it shows it pretty close. If you guys can see right here, it had a previous support at around 7.14. It broke below that and it's consolidating right here at $17. I think that if it drops below $17, this will continue to see a downtrend. And then JDST, which is its inverse gold-based ETF, which is the bear ETF, will continue trending up. I think that JNUG does offer a lot of potential for profit. Is that a reason that I'm going to take a position on it? No, because it's not showing any indication of an uptrend. It's still trending down. I'm going to wait for the break above 1750, so that's where I'm going to set my alert. Once I have that indication that it's trending back up, then I think it can make a very short swing trade for 1 or 2 days. I don't feel too comfortable just because of how low this is and how this has been trending within the past 2 weeks to actually hold it for a good amount of time. I do think that it offers a lot of potential for profit, especially right now from 17 to 20, which is the previous trend that it had, and that's about 14%. But I think it had a really nice sell-off. Again, had a really nice bounce. Took about a week to 2 weeks. And now a week to 2 weeks later, it's trending back down. It's around 1704. Breaks below 17. I'm not going to be too worried about it. I'm not in it. And with that being said, let's see. All right. So, but that's really just it. So I have to wait for an indication there. There we go. So if you guys can see, I have these two linked together. If you guys want to know how I have my Thinkorswim set up with everything that I have going on, I do have a video on it. So you simply have to search up on YouTube how to use TOS and then put my name next to it. And then I have a video on it. So let's go ahead and talk about UGAS. UGAS has been continuously showing signs of an uptrend within the past 3 days. So what will it most likely continue to do? As long as it continues to indicate this uptrend, then I will most likely continue to invest in it. With that being said, it looks like it's been showing signs of an upward staircase, if you guys know what I mean. I called out the bounce at $9.50. We had a couple traders, jump in after it broke above VMA, and I looked at it intraday, and it was only a day trade for me. But from that point, it's been showing signs of an upward trend. Something I had a one-to-one video call with one of the members that's part of my mentorship. And we talked about JNUG. He was very intrigued by, we talked about UGAS, and he was very intrigued by, UGAS and how it validates the supports of the VWAP all intraday, and then the resistance of the VWAP as well, and how it's starting to consolidate here at the purple VWAP, which is my middle one, around $10.40. So pretty much my plan is this is all intraday. I'm not treating this as a swing trade. For UGAS, when it has a sell-off, if it does, and I can validate a bounce at around 1020 to 1017, wherever the golden VWAP is, the bottom VWAP for me, then I can indicate somewhat of a buy, right? If it validates that and it starts to trend back up and breaks above EMA intraday, let me give you an example. So when you guys had a sell-off and bounce off the golden VWAP and then broke above EMA, that was an indication for me that it started seeing signs of an uptrend. Where would I have sold? I would have sold at 1050. Why? Because that was the resistance during pre-market hours. So again, nothing huge. I would have waited for the bounce on the purple bottom VWAP and the break above VMA, and that would have made about 3% intraday. That's about my average growth per position when it comes down to my day trade, so that would have been more than enough. And I think for a lot of people that are part of the mentorship program, we have very realistic goals. It's about 5 to 10% a week, and we've been achieving that, or if not, we're working towards that. And I think, being able to identify the potential, very quickly for UGAS intraday, it offers potential. And it continues to trend up. So therefore, we will continue to invest in it when it continues to show signs of an uptrend. And NKE, this is also one of the tickers that one of the members called out within the group. I simply, shouted it out as one of the top stocks that I was looking at. I said, I'm going to wait for the break above 52. And that was about 2 to 3 days ago. Ever since then, again, I called out the resistance at $54. Is this huge margin of profit that it offers? No, it's about 4%. But again, reputable company, looking at a big picture, it's at a pretty low point. And with that being said, it offers a lot of margin, right? This is Nike, multi-billion-dollar company. So we caught it at a low point, waited for the break above VMA. And again, it has all this margin to make up. Nothing crazy, 15%, but it offers that margin. So we have CX. On the 1 year analysis, it's at a pretty low point that it's been at before. So again, I had to sell off, wait for the break above EMA, trends back up. That's why I have my support here and my resistance here. I'm waiting for the break. And this is one that I've been calling out time after time, but I have not got the confirmation that it's trending up, and that's why I have my alert here. It has not broken, a solid resistance at 820, and I won't invest in it until it does. And that's the verification that I'm waiting for. So sorry about the door. Let's go ahead and, we already talked about that one. FEYE. The reason that we are talking about this one is because it's had a previous support here at 1650, which it's looking like now it's validating. I'm waiting for the break above $17 and the resistance at 18. This could be a really solid swing trade, all within 1 week, and it's showing that it offers about 5 to 6% potential for profit if you wait for the $17 break. And looking at it big picture, it's been showing signs of a consistent uptrend, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so a consistent upward trend. It had a nice little sell-off, which offers a good opportunity for an entry. If you see value in it, we wait for the break above EMA and then sell at the previous resistance. Or if you want to be a little bit more risky, then you can hold it. DGAS, which is the inverse, again, still showing signs of a downtrend. As it continues to show signs of a downtrend until it doesn't, then I won't invest in it. XXII, we talked about that one. FNF is one of the positions that I've already taken a position on. Why? This is Fidelity, huge sell-off. Earnings report coming through pretty soon, but it started to consolidate and started to break a resistance. It does have somewhat of a resistance at $36. That's something that I did not know right away. I figured that out when it came down to it hitting highs of about $36 and then bouncing right back down. I bought in at $35.20. Why is it that I bought about $35.20? That's my alert if you guys saw that I had set. When it breaks above $35.20 that I was going to buy, broke above $35.20, and it took position. So I'm up right now with a couple other traders that are planning on swing trading, FNF. Why? Because it offers a lot of margin for profit. Why else? Well, it's been a consistent stock that's been showing signs of an uptrend until this sell-off. So with that being said, it does have a lot of margin to recover from top to bottom. Do I think realistically I'm going to ride it throughout, and keep my entire position in there for 1 to 2 months? No. It offers about 25% potential for profit, and that's great. It bounced at a previous support, which is amazing. But now I want to ride it maybe to, I think the resistance that we called out was $40, and I was more than happy with the profits that I was going to make there. And it should have been a 1 to 2 week hold. GNC is another one that I took a position on. Why did I take a position on this one? I waited for the break above EMA. Again, very simple trend. It had a sell-off here. It bounced here before, waited for the break above EMA, and then had a resistance here around 1020. What did I do here? Waited for the break above EMA. So when I saw it to start show signs of an upward trend, I got in at the same price, 820. And with that being said, it offers, for me, with the resistance where I plan to sell, about 22% potential for profit. So I'm relatively taking a pretty small position right now, but as it continues to break the $8.50 resistance, the $9 resistance, I will continue to add about $2,500 to my position. Therefore, when I get to about the $10 price point, I can sell, and I'll be at around $10,000 to $12,000 depending on how quickly it moves up. So I think GNC offers a lot of potential for profit. It bounced at a previous support. It's a reputable company, and long term, it's continuously been showing signs of an uptrend. Oh, no, it has not. My goodness. I was looking at the 180-day chart when I analyzed this. Okay, well, that's good to know. Why I think big picture, why did I have my alert there? Okay, well, previous support that it had was 850. So I'm up on it right now. I think as it approaches 850, if I see that it's not breaking that resistance, then I can simply sell, end up selling it there. WPRT was called out by one of our members. And the reason why was because it's been showing signs of a consistent uptrend. He called it out when it had that sell-off, and we waited for the break above EMA. EGLT, this is by one of our members. His name is Tom. He's part of our mentorship program, and he called this one out. I always ask them to share their stocks that they're planning on trading with me and their whole plans. I think he did an amazing job with this one. This is not a stock that I normally would trade. This is EGLT. Has had a previous bounce at $1, which is a very common support. Resistance at 160, had a huge sell-off. What is it doing now? It's starting to bounce. It bounced at about $1, bounced at lows of 97 cents, starting to show signs of an uptrend. RSI is there to follow, and so is the MACD indicator. Congrats to him. This could be a good day trade and maybe a couple swing trade potentials. I wouldn't go in too heavy with this one. Same thing with this one. This is MEET. This is something that he found. Based on previous support at around 350, that's where it consolidated, has a resistance at $4, sell off again at 450. We wait for that validation that it's going to, break above 350 and start indicating that upward trend, and then that's when I would consider to buy. But again, yeah, that's my breakdown. All right, let's see. Alrighty, guys, we did go a little bit over when it comes down to time, but I hope that my breakdown was pretty simple to follow. And if it wasn't, then I really tried to explain things the way that I think of it, right? I feel like I have a pretty general understanding of kind of like how companies work. Therefore, when they have solid sell-offs like that, it only makes sense to. The reason now that I'm trying to focus so much on these like higher quality stocks is just because when long-term, big picture, right, they start showing signs of a solid upward trend, right? It's not perfect, but they have a little bit of pullbacks, and it's on those pullbacks that they offer more opportunity because they have huge sell-offs, which offers for us short-term swing traders to be able to take a position, sell back at the price that it was trending at, and then make our profits, and then find another stock that shows that same opportunity. So with that being said, that's really just it. That's the style that I've been trying to focus on. And a lot of traders have really been seeing a lot more consistent success. And that's what I'm aiming for. I'm really trying to build that foundation. So later on, if you guys want to branch off into swing trading or momentum trading, then great. You guys have the opportunity to do so. But I feel like so many people focus on the profits that they can make on in the day, that realistically, we have a lot of traders that sometimes make 20 to 40% profit all within one day. And then the following days, they just see solid red days, and they don't know how to manage the risk. They don't know how to cut losses, and they really don't have a foundation for trading or investing. And it's because I think they got lucky in the beginning, and they think that it's always going to be like that. And that's definitely not the case when it comes down to any of the traders that are part of my mentorship. That's something that if they don't have an understanding, it was funny. There's a guy named Joshua, and he was asking me what's one of the incentives of the mentorship. They're like, well, it's that you have me and Justin on your back, making sure that you are sticking to your plan, and if you don't, we're there to hold you accountable for it. With that simple understanding, great. If you guys see value in that, then we'd love to have you as a part of our lesson library. If you guys don't like my teaching style, and you guys don't like the way that I trade or don't see value in it, then 100%, don't be a part of when it comes down to my lesson library, because it's going to be me mentoring you. And that's really just it. So, and thank you. We have EPLATT27 saying buy his lessons, so educational, no bluff. I really try to be as transparent and as simple as I can with you guys, because I don't want to be when people ask me right away, hey, what is it that you do? Hey, were you able to buy your McLaren or any of your houses and stuff like that solely by investing in the stock market? No, it's like a extra side income that I've been able to generate that adds to my stable income, that adds to everything it is that I invest in. But little by little, if you have $3,000 that you're making here, $5,000 that you're making here, $8,000 a month that you're making here, they really start to add up. And it's not about having huge chunks of sources of income and saying, hey, you're going to be able, if you trade like me, you're going to be able to make, or buy, your dream car. It's not like that. And that's why in my mentorship and in the lesson library, I mainly focus about my approach investing in the stock market, but I also try to provide information, and I have structured videos that I'm going to offer. And these are even for the people that are part of it right now. But this week, I'm going to make a video about how I invest in real estate and what has led to my success when it comes down to my rental properties or even the houses that I plan to, flip, as well as how to start your business and the buying and reselling of different products. So you guys can be exposed to different markets in a much more structured format. So with that being said, thank you guys again. We have our buddy Sankit right there. What's going on, bud? But we have our team right now, let me go ahead and introduce you guys. Justin, come over here. So Justin, you guys have been seeing a lot of him. If you guys are part of the mentorship program, he's one of the guys that helps me out with the lesson library, and he's one of my partners for when it comes down to tech butts. And he definitely does provide a lot of structure to my life and to my business, because if it wasn't for him, he calls me out for everything that I do wrong. And it's great to have someone like him, because I know that I'm being guided in the right direction, regardless if I think that he's smarter than me or not. I know that, my approach and my understanding of the stock market, I think there's no question about that. I think it's a little bit, better than what he has. But because he's looking out, and just looking at me and what it is that I'm doing, he can call me out in certain things that can guide me in the right direction. That's what I'm here to do with you. I'm not here to tell you what to buy. I'm not here to tell you what to sell. I'm not here to tell you, hey, if you take my mentorship or you do anything that we offer, that you will be 100% successful. But I promise you that I will be on your back, making sure that whatever plan that you build for yourself, that I will be there, and so will Justin, to hold you accountable for it. And if you see value in that and you want to surround yourself with people on a one-to-one basis that are there to guide you in the right direction, then we're your people. If you want someone to, spoon feed you a series of stocks, if you want someone to tell you when to buy, when to sell, then we're not your people. We're not here to feed you tickers and to tell you, hey, you need to be trading this if you want to, buy your McLaren. It doesn't work like that. You got to work hard, you got to do your own DD, and you need to build that foundation. And we are here to help you with that. And that is really just it. So is he a millionaire too? No. So for those that are asking, I'm not a millionaire. When it comes down to, if you guys know anything about me, like the assets and everything is that I own, I think closely approaches that $1 million mark, I would say. But when it comes down to like what it is that I make or anything like that, I don't label myself anything like that. So thank you guys. You guys are doing a really good job. So that's really just it. So for a very quick breakdown, for all those that joined us, thank you guys again. I hope you guys have an amazing Sunday. I hope you guys are pumped and planned for this week. If your goal is 5% this week, then plan for it. I want you to focus on stocks, 2 to 3 stocks that will accommodate that goal that you are trying to achieve. Make sure that it's realistic and make sure that you're planning for it and working towards it. With that being said, I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. Now, for those that want to learn a little bit more about my mentorship and lesson library, if you guys enroll, and today's the last day for the $50 off, and that is the first link in the description. That's for my lesson library. We are going to be taking people. You don't need to buy my mentorship. We don't offer, there's no monthly payments or anything like that. It's a one-time charge, the $249, that is today. For those that are joining today, my current mentorship that we took on 300 people, that is sold out. Now for the next session that follows, and they will be following in monthly sessions, we will email you in a week in advance for you to enroll in the mentorship program for those that are enrolled in the lesson library. So you need to purchase the lesson library, and you will be emailed when the next session is going to start, and it's on a monthly basis. You have access to the videos for a lifetime. You have access to the mentorship for a 1-month period. What does the mentorship offer? It offers a private group chat, a daily Q&A, and I go live with you in the morning, like during market hours. We also accommodate those that have full-time jobs, and me and Justin, 1 time a week, will accommodate those that can only jump on one-to-one video calls during like after work and stuff like that. Other than that, you will be getting a one-to-one video call by me and Justin on a weekly basis. So, no. So, oh, Matthew, do you see him?
So guy roast me, I roast him. Let's go. I have 2 tricycles.
All right. But other than that, thank you guys again. So if you guys have any questions, we're about to have dinner right now, and I've been on Discord and on our emails all day today, trying to respond to as many people as I can. But I think it's pretty self-explanatory with what it is that the lesson libraries offer. So I have a bunch of free videos on YouTube. So if you want to learn in a much quicker kind of pace, then that's what my lesson libraries are for. They're new videos structured in the way that I wish I was taught, and exactly what it is that I know about the stock market and what has led to my success. The mentorship is there now to test the waters and making sure that you're implementing what you learned and properly doing it. I think that there's no question that I think everyone's a capable person, but so many people lack the discipline to be successful because they're not holding themselves accountable. That's what me and Justin are here for. And yeah, so for those that are asking what is it that we're eating, my beautiful girlfriend and my roommate and my everyone, we're cooking, I think, carne asada tacos, right?
Simone.
Okay. But yeah, so for those that are asking, the one-to-one video calls are on a weekly basis. This is between me and you on a weekly basis for the 1 month period. Group calls are every single day, Monday through Friday. And I also go live with you during the market open for about 30 to 45 minutes. So we go live as a team together as the market opens, and then we do a Q&A after everyone gets out of work. So that's really just it. Carne asada, yep, that's right. Simone. All right. But thank you guys again for everything that you guys do. Regardless if you guys, I know a lot of people can't be part of the mentorship program right now because they don't have all the money and stuff like that. And I 100%, that's why I'm going to continue to make my helpful videos for free on YouTube. There's just no structure there for you, and then it doesn't offer the mentorship. So that's one of the incentives. It's something to work towards. And realistically, guys, something that we always focus on with making it clear to the people that we mentor is how important stable income is. And if you can't afford the mentorship, which is I think one of the least expensive mentorships out there, then realistically we want to work with you a little bit more to build that foundation. So the $249 or the $299 is not such a devastation, right? So you need to have that foundation first, and then we can do that. So yeah, that's really just it. So can we have more than one video call per week? So when it comes down to a weekly basis, one-to-one, it is like we at least offer one. I have certain members that I jump if they have a specific question that they want to ask me, and they're part of the mentorship. Then yeah, I jump on a call with you. But that's at my convenience, so it's not guaranteed. You're guaranteed at least one call at a weekly basis. So we have Chilo Alanis en Provecho, which means do you know what that means?
No.
It means I don't know how to say it. It just means like good eating or something like that, like have fun. Or not have fun, but yeah.
Like bon appetit?
Bon appetit, yeah, just like that. So for all those that are asking for this mentorship and stuff like that, again, monthly sessions, we plan on continuing these monthly sessions for about 100 people on a monthly session. So if you can't do it now, you can't do it this month, then again, next month might be a better time for you. Ricky, do you offer a mentorship in Spanish? Well, I can try my best to do it, but again, English is my native language. I do speak Spanish. I just, all these terms and stuff like that. I don't know if I'm going to be able to express that or be able to conjugate everything, properly in Spanish. So, yeah. So, we have Kevin A asking about what's VWAP. I have a video on it. So, if you guys search up VWAP on YouTube and then put my name next to it, I have a video about that. Or you guys can look at the lesson library, and I offer that as well. So, right? All right, guys, I don't want to take too much of your guys' time. We've been live for almost about an hour. So, guys, continue working hard. Continue following your dreams. Let your passion be what drives you in your success. And again, when it comes down to investing in the stock market, it's quality over quantity. Don't overwhelm yourself with options. Have a goal in mind when it comes down to a weekly basis. And make sure that the stocks that you are trading accommodates that goal and that you're working towards it, that you're planning towards it. Forget about all the noise. Forget about everyone else and what it is that they say that they're making. You focus on consistency and making sure that you're working towards your goal and that you're achieving it. And we are here for you. So, like always, guys, let's make sure that we end the year